Welcome back. This is part 2 of our multi-step linear equations notes. We're going to talk about how to solve this second problem type, linear equations that have distribution in them. So our first example, our steps are here. The steps to solving with distribution are pretty similar to what we did before. But first we have to use the distributive property wherever you can. And so if you see an opportunity to distribute, you can go ahead and do that. The next thing that we need to do is to combine all of the like terms that we have. So anything that has the exact same variable, we can combine, or anything that is a constant, meaning it has no variable, we can combine those as well. Step 3, 4, and 5 are exactly what we did in the past. We're going to identify the order of the operations that's happening in the equation, and we're going to list those in the correct order. Once we do that, we can identify the inverse operations of each of those, and then we can carry out those operations in a backwards order. So let's look at our first example. We're going to solve for x, and the expression we have is -3 times x plus 5 minus x plus 3 equals 20. So let me write that out here. -3 times x plus 5 minus x plus 3 equals 20. I like to space things out so I have a little bit better view. So the first thing we need to do is distribute this -3. And remember, distribute means multiply. So we're going to multiply everything inside the parentheses by this -3. So we end up with a -3 times x and a -15. Now we can drop those parentheses and rewrite the rest of our equation. We've got a minus x and a plus 3 equaling 20. I need to combine all of my like terms. So I've got these x's that I can combine, and I've got these constants I can combine. And so I'm going to highlight these for you. And if you want, you can highlight them in your slides as well. It might make it a little bit easier for you to keep track of what things you're combining. So when I combine my x's, I get a total of -4x's. And when I combine my constants, I get -12. And this is all equal to 20. Now I'm looking at this operation, and I'm asking myself I'm looking at this equation. Looking at this equation highlighted in red, and I'm asking myself what operations happened and what's their order. So the first operation would be multiply by -4, because we see that x has a coefficient of -4. After we multiply by -4, we are subtracting 12. Now we're going to identify the inverse of each of these. The opposite of multiply by 4 is divide by 4. -4, I should say. Opposite of subtract 12 is add 12. I'm going to copy and paste my simplified equation over here in step 5, and we're going to do these inverse operations in a backwards order. So the first thing I want to do is add 12. I'm doing that to both sides. -12 plus 12 will cancel themselves out, so all I have left is -4x equals 32. I added 12 and 20. Now all I need to do is divide by 4, -4 on both sides. So I'm going to use a backslash to show division. -4 divided by -4 is 1. So we have 1x equal to, I need to do 32 divided by -4. So I'm going to type that in my calculator. 32 divided by -4 is -8. And there's my answer for x, -8. Let's look at one more example together, and then you can try one on your own. Example 2, solving for x, we've got 2 times -x plus 4 plus 5x minus 3 equals 11. So first I'm going to write that equation out. I'm going to be careful to make sure I have all of the correct negative and positive signs so that I don't make any mistakes here. Right. Now we want to distribute this positive 2 into the parentheses and then combine our like terms. So once I distribute, I get negative 2x plus 8 plus a 5x minus 3 equals 11. Next, I'm going to combine these like terms. So I have minus 2x's plus 5x's that I could combine. I also have a constant of plus 8 and a constant of minus 3. So I'm going to combine those as well. Negative 2x's plus 5x's would be 3x's. Positive 8 plus minus 3 would give me positive 5. So now I know that 3x plus 5 is equal to 11. Now this simplified equation is what I'm going to use in step 3. So I'm looking and I see that the first operation is multiply by 3 because x has a coefficient of 3. And in order of operations, multiplication comes first before addition. So the next operation I see is add 5. So multiplication comes first before addition. Let's identify these inverses. The opposite of multiply by 3 is divide by 3. Opposite of add 5 is subtract 5. So let's copy and paste our simplified equation into step 5, and we're going to carry out these inverse operations backwards. That's starting with a subtraction by 5 on both sides, which leaves me with 3x's is equal to 6. 5 minus 5 gave me 0. 11 minus 5 gave me 6. My last step is to divide by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times x is x. 6 divided by 3 is 2. And now I have my value of x. Try example 3 on your own, completing each of these steps along the way. If you have questions about example 3, you can ask. I can check your work for you, and we can talk about different ways to solve this. Once you've completed these examples, you're going to go into Delta Math and complete the multi-step equations activity, which is posted in Delta Math. There is both of these problem types for you to practice with. Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.